Nothing. We just cool. Everything is fine up until the night Big got murdered.
The murder of Christopher Wallace, better known as the notorious b.i.g, remains one of the most famous and mysterious tragedies in the history of hip-hop. On March 9, 1997, Wallace was killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles, only months after the murder of his rival, Tupac Shakur. Despite decades of investigations, countless theories, and a flurry of speculations, the case remains unsolved. Recently, new and startling allegations have come to light, linking music mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs to the murder of the rap legend. These revelations come from Gene Deal, P. Diddy's former bodyguard, who shared shocking new details in the documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. The notorious b.i.g. had cemented his place as one of the greatest figures in hip-hop. Signed to Bad Boy Records, founded by Sean P. Diddy Combs, Biggie's career skyrocketed with his debut album Ready to Die, which became one of the defining rap albums of the 90s. However, just as Biggie's career was taking off, tensions between the East Coast and West Coast hip-hop scenes were escalating. The rivalry between these two coasts was intensified by the growing prominence of Tupac Shakur, who had moved to the West Coast and was signed to Death Row Records. At the time of Biggie's death, the feud had reached a boiling point. The media often painted the rivalry as a deadly competition between the East Coast, where Biggie was based, and the West Coast, associated with Tupac. As the tension between these two camps escalated, so did the hostilities. Biggie, who was known for his collaborations with P. Diddy, became a prime target in the rivalry. The feud reached tragic heights with the murders of both Tupac in September 1996 and Biggie in 1997, both still surrounded by unsolved mysteries. Gene Deal's allegations. Gene Deal, who worked as a bodyguard for P. Diddy from 1991 to 2005, has recently come forward with allegations regarding Biggie's death. In the documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, Deal sheds new light on the circumstances leading up to Biggie's murder. According to Deal, the week before Biggie's tragic death, P. Diddy was acting nervous and unusual. He recounts that Biggie, sensing trouble, had become increasingly concerned about his safety. Deal describes how, just days before the shooting, P. Diddy had allegedly told Biggie not to travel to London, although Biggie had originally planned to do so. According to Deal, this was strange given the usual support Diddy offered for Biggie's career. At the time, Biggie was a huge star, and his East Coast affiliations made him a target of West Coast animosity. Deal also claimed that P. Diddy personally told Biggie to attend the Vibe magazine party in Los Angeles on the night of March 9, 1997, even though Biggie was reportedly warned about potential danger. Deal recalls that Biggie, having sensed the looming threat, was not keen on attending the event, but was convinced by P. Diddy to go. The party, which was being held after the Soul Train Music Awards, was filled with notable figures from the music world, including several prominent players in the hip-hop industry. However, Biggie's presence at the party proved to be fateful. The night of the murder. On the night of March 9, 1997, after the Vibe magazine party, Biggie left the event and was driving in his Chevrolet Suburban when a car pulled up beside him at a red light. The gunman, concealed within the vehicle, fired several shots into Biggie's car, hitting him 4 times. Biggie was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but he was pronounced dead shortly afterward. The murder was another blow to the hip-hop community and was seen as an extension of the bitter East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Deal's new testimony is extremely significant because it offers insight into the tense atmosphere leading up to the shooting, suggesting that P. Diddy may have had more knowledge about the potential threat than was previously acknowledged. According to Deal, Biggie's death could have been prevented had P. Diddy not insisted on him attending the party. These details suggest a complex and possibly sinister connection between the events of that night and the hip-hop mogul. P. Diddy's response: denials and public backlash. Sean P. Diddy Combs, who was one of the most influential figures in hip-hop during the 1990s and beyond, has consistently denied any involvement in the murder of the notorious b.i.g. In the wake of Gene Deal's allegations, P. Diddy's legal team issued a statement vigorously denying the claims. The statement accused Deal of making baseless allegations for personal gain, claiming that the accusations were false and not grounded in any evidence. P. Diddy has maintained that Biggie was a close friend and that he was deeply affected by the rapper's tragic death. Over the years, he has often spoken about how the loss of Biggie impacted him, asserting that he would never have had any involvement in his death. However, despite these public denials, the allegations have reignited speculation surrounding his possible involvement. The new claims have arrived at a time when P. Diddy is already facing serious legal issues. The music mogul is currently embroiled in various legal battles, including charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. These developments have led to public scrutiny, and some critics argue that these new allegations about Biggie's death may be tied to P. Diddy's ongoing legal troubles. Others have suggested that the resurgence of these claims could be an effort to discredit him, particularly given his prominent position within the hip-hop industry. Alternative theories. While Gene Deal's allegations against P. Diddy are among the most recent, they are not the only theories about the notorious b.i.g.'s death. In fact, many other individuals have come forward with alternative explanations over the years. One of the most well-known theories implicates Suge Knight, the founder of Death Row Records and a rival of P. Diddy. Some investigators have suggested that Suge Knight played a role in orchestrating the murder of Biggie in retaliation for the killing of Tupac Shakur. According to former LAPD detective Greg Kading, Suge Knight, along with corrupt members of the LAPD, may have worked together to arrange Biggie's murder as part of a larger conspiracy involving the ongoing East Coast-West Coast conflict. Kading's theory, outlined in his book Murder Rap, suggests that the murder was driven by revenge and revenge alone, with no direct connection to P. Diddy. Another theory, proposed by journalist Randall Sullivan in his book Labyrinth, posits that a rogue LAPD officer may have played a role in the deaths of both Tupac and Biggie. This theory suggests that the officer was connected to gang violence in Los Angeles and had a personal stake in the conflicts of the hip-hop world. According to this theory, the officer and his associates orchestrated the murders for reasons unrelated to the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. However, these theories remain speculative, with no hard evidence pointing to any particular individual. The unsolved mystery. Will we ever know the truth? The notorious b.i.g.'s murder is one of the most iconic unsolved crimes in the history of the entertainment industry. While the recent allegations made by Gene Deal are compelling, they have yet to produce concrete evidence to substantiate them. As time passes, it seems increasingly unlikely that we will ever fully understand the circumstances surrounding Biggie's death. Despite the many theories and speculation, the case remains an open wound in the hip-hop community. Whether P. Diddy had any involvement in Biggie's death or was merely a bystander in a larger conspiracy, the true story may never be revealed. However, one thing is certain: the murder of the notorious b.i.g. continues to captivate the public's imagination and serves as a painful reminder of the dangerous undercurrents of the hip-hop industry during its most turbulent years. As the debate rages on, the legacy of the notorious b.i.g. endures, and his music lives on as one of the most powerful forces in modern hip-hop culture. His story, and the mystery surrounding his death, will continue to be part of hip-hop's complicated and storied history for years to come.